Welcome to another video from Gweilo 60. It's like 7 o'clock in the morning and there's a hustle and bustle in the city of Nanning this morning. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. Our Saturday morning live stream coming up this Saturday. Wow, what a panel do we have this time. We've got a cameo appearance from Blondie in China. We've got Alex Absolute and Patrick Freeman, half an hour each. They're sharing a spot this time around. We've got Alex from Reporterfy Media. We have a new guy, Numuves, Jonathan from Numuves. He's going to bring maybe a little bit of political stuff to the table. Plus, we've got Xiao, Ichongqing journalist on the show this week. So that's going to be interesting. We've never done anything like that before. And you've got, of course, yours truly, Gweilo 60 in the corner. And the topic, oh, and this is a political one, guys. The topic of the day is going to be Western media. Yes, but not just Western media, but Western media fooling the world. Yeah, so that's going to be a fairly political one. So you want to stay tuned for this one. We're going to be talking about things like the mainstream media and how they sort of twist and distort things. For one, look at the Uyghur situation here in China. If your radical Muslim crowd was running around the United States blowing things up like they were doing in Xinjiang province in northern China, northeastern China, the Americans would call that a terrorist attack, and the world would be behind them 100%, and they would go and they would tap those buggers out. Yes, they would go and they would kill them all, because that's what the Americans do, and that's okay. But when it happens in a place like China, the Chinese, they don't go and shoot them all. It's not their way. What they figure is they re-educate them, tell them what they're doing wrong, try to change their mind, and as they change their minds, they may change their family's mind. So this isn't something that goes down the ages type thing, from grandfather to son to grandchild. See, in the West, when say you take out daddy, well, you've made an enemy of that child, that father's child, for the rest of your life. So chances are pretty good he's going to be radicalized also, and the Chinese understand that. But in the Western media, it's not. You see, these guys aren't terrorists now; they're freedom fighters. Well, yeah, they're fighting for democracy and their way of life and all of these other things. But when you get into the West, and they're doing exactly the same thing. Look at 9/11. Took down a couple of buildings there. Terrorist attack for sure. Hijacking airplanes, jets, and trying to run them into the Pentagon, and well, and it is a terrorist attack. And when it happens here in China, and they're blowing people up, and they're killing innocent citizens, the Chinese look at it as a terrorist attack too, and they're not going to put up with it. So when the Western media tries to fool you into thinking that China's doing something wrong by trying to re-educate these radicals, they're just fooling the world. Then you look at the Hong Kong protests. Yes, okay, this is a good one, because these people that are protesting on the streets of Hong Kong, and still to this day are protesting on the streets of Hong Kong, they killed a guy with a brick, hit him in the head, killed him dead, and what happened? Nothing. You see, if you killed somebody with a brick, even if it was a mistake, if you threw that brick doing something like a protest, it would be considered manslaughter. And you're asked to go to jail for a long time, and that's just the way it is. Oh, and burning somebody alive, pouring lighter fluid or gasoline on somebody, and then putting a match to him and burning him. I don't know if he died. I don't think so. But you see, in the West, that would be attempted murder. That would be, and they had it on video, so there's really no way around that. But you know, and that could be considered terrorism too, because you're fighting against, in the United States, you're fighting against the government. You're using violence and vandalism. You see them going through the train stations and stuff like that, where they're tearing signs down and just busting windows, and you know, and killing people with bricks, and turning people into bonfires and stuff like that. Well, when you hear it in the Western media, they say, oh, they're freedom fighters. Yes, you got it. They're fighting for democracy. And so whatever they do while they're fighting for democracy is okay in the eyes of mainstream media in the United States, Canada, Great Britain, all of these places. So when you're seeing that on the news, and they're saying these are freedom fighters, they're not terrorists, they're just, oh yeah, these guys are doing a good job, they're just, yeah, okay, exactly. So you know, that's Western media fooling the world. Oh, and here's a good one. Now you've got the President of the United States going against the intelligence community. Okay, what do you talk about, Gweilo? Well, the conspiracy theory. The conspiracy theory that somehow a lab in Wuhan started the CV. The intelligence committee or community stated, well, no, this came from natural sources. It hasn't been bioengineered. And these are doctors. These are scientists. These are people that really know their stuff. And then you get Donald Duck. You got her, Donald the Duck, the big orange duck. Yeah, the big orange duck. Anyway, so he says, no, we have information that it was bioengineered at the lab in Wuhan, and this comes right off the top of his head. Does anybody believe him? Well, obviously not. So then you get his Secretary of State, Pompeo, regurgitating the same thing, saying, yeah, we've got you know, a lot of evidence that it came out of the Wuhan thing, but Wuhan biolab. But you gotta walk back on this Pompeo guy. He's been on TV or on video stating that when he was working for the CIA, they would lie, cheat, steal. They would do anything to get their way. And he said we even had courses on how to lie, cheat, and steal. So when something like that comes out of somebody like Pompeo, are you going to believe it? When it comes out of the mouth of the President of the United States, it's regurgitating conspiracy theories. Oh, but you see, it doesn't end there. How much press does the intelligence community get on Western media, mainstream media, for their side of the story, saying, no, this isn't bioengineered. This is a naturally occurring thing, and it's just the way it is. You know, there's nothing can be done or could have been done. But now, when you've got Trump saying, oh yeah, it was, and then Pompeo, oh yeah, it was. Well, they're the ones that get the big press on the Western media. So is this just another case of Western media fooling the world? These are some of the things that we're going to be talking about on Saturday morning with this star-studded, like really, we have some major YouTubers coming to the show. We've got like 7 people on this show. Sure, Blondie's only on for about 15 minutes. Alex Absolute and Patrick Freeman are on for about a half an hour each. But then you've got Numuves, Jonathan. He's a cracker jack guy type thing. He's going to bring a lot to the show. Myself, you know me, hardly political at all. Alex from Reporterfy Media. Well, yeah, you got Alex from Reporterfy Media rocks. And of course, Xiao from Ichongqing, a journalist from Ichongqing platform. Now, this is going to be interesting because we've got Americans, we've got British, we've got Chinese Americans, we've got Canadians, we've got Chinese. We've got, so we're a better, well-rounded group of people. So we're going to get every side of this story from every corner of the earth. Like seriously. Oh, and Blondie in China from Australia. So you gotta show up for this one, guys. It's gonna be a hell of a show. And you're wondering, what time is this Saturday morning live stream? Well, it's 9 o'clock on Saturday morning, AM, China time. Okay, what is that Pacific time? Is 6 o'clock Pacific time, or 9 o'clock PM? 6 o'clock PM Pacific time, 9 o'clock PM Atlantic time. UK, you guys get it on the chin again. It's like 2 a.m. in the morning. Get up, have a cup of coffee, stick with us for, well, I think this one's probably going to go for an hour and a half or more. There's just too much to talk about. So we'll see you guys there. Anyway, that's another video from Gweilo 60. If you like this video, as always, like, comment, subscribe, push that share button. Don't forget to hit the bell, resubscribe, and never forget to put a couple bucks in the children's Patreon account. It's for a good cause. It's for poor rural Chinese children. Help me help them. Thanks for watching. Bye now.